What is up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of Rockin' with Ricky, the show about connecting with your partner physically through food. Tonight, we're going to be making braised short ribs in a crock pot, one pot meal. Couldn't be simpler. Major crowd pleaser. Everybody loves short ribs. It is a gray and dreary day here and looking to make some comfort food. I do love using a crock pot. It's early in the day. I can get this thing going. Dinner will be ready by the time everybody gets home tonight. And again, guys, this one is dead simple. Shout out to my friend Candace for the inspiration on this one. She's a phenomenal cook. She's also one of the best doulas in the greater Los Angeles area. And keeping with the theme that this show is about connecting with your partner physically through food, as a doula, I'm sure she has intimate knowledge about your Aunt's Virginia. And I would guess that a career centered around birth and childbearing, she's probably got a pretty good idea about the kinds of foods that tend to lead toward procreation. Not that we're going to be procreating. We've got two, and that's plenty. First thing we're going to do is cut up these carrots. I've already skinned them. These are whole carrots, and we're just going to chop them up. Next, we're going to dice up an onion. I gotta say, my wife is still not feeling 100% from the flu that she was having, and my sexual needs are not being met. So this meal tonight is a Hail Mary, because Daddy needs to see some naked. I've been with my wife for 15 years now, and even after all this time, I still fantasize about her. So while she's been coughing and dealing with having the flu, I've still been doing it with her, but in my mind. That being said, I would really like to see her naked tonight, immediately after this meal if possible. We're just gonna dice these up. I don't like chunks of onion in stuff, so even though I'm gonna cook these down eventually, I still prefer to cut them pretty small. I feel like I've been wandering the sexual desert, and all I really want is a cold glass of water that looks a lot like my wife's butt. Ugh. Ooh, that burn. Fuck. I wonder if this really works. I've seen this online. I'm not 100% convinced it's going to be helpful. It's working. Anyway, like I was saying before, how many of you still feel as attracted, if not more attracted, to your partner now, 15 or however many years later, as you did in the beginning? Feel like that's a good sign you found the one, right? Hey, you know what? That actually did help. Now we're going to prep these short ribs. Start by patting them dry. Then we're going to salt and pepper. You can be pretty liberal with the salt and pepper here. For those of you that have been in long-term relationships and are still attracted to your partner, let me ask you this. When you've been with someone for a long time, you know the key combinations to get them off, right? It's like up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start, whatever, like the contra code. Like, and that works. But it's also important to make sure that those bedroom moments don't get stale, right? So what are some ways that you guys are keeping your relationship new and exciting? I will say that while I'm always happy to take part in whatever festivities may be, over time, my tastes have become more exotic. I don't know if that's a function of getting older or if your tastes change over time. Like, for example, I didn't always like sushi. A few years back, I revisited, and as it turns out, I do like sushi. I found the same thing to be true in the bedroom, where a lot of times things that you were maybe afraid to do when you were younger, you're more apt to do when you're in a healthy, supportive relationship where your partner allows you to express yourself freely. Next, we're going to do a coating of flour on all four sides of each short rib. Should look something like this when you're done. Okay, now we're gonna cook up our veggies a little bit and brown the meat. So we're gonna need to grab a pan, turn it on medium-high heat. Okay, we got this pan heating up. Let's throw a tablespoon of olive oil in there. Okay, while we wait for that oil to heat up, I do want to go back to the viewer write-in segment because some of the things you guys say in the comments are truly pretty funny. This one comes from Chris in San Diego, and Chris says, talk about your PS more and mention my name. I will lay money on your views going up. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. I haven't found a good way to introduce my PS into the show yet, but I will definitely keep that in mind. Lord knows I could use the views. Okay, let's get the carrots in there. Add in the onions. You want to brown and soften the onions. You got to keep the veg moving so you don't burn any of it on this high heat. That's looking really nice. That's perfect. Lightly brown and soften up those onions. We can go ahead and add that to the crock pot. Now, we're going to turn that heat up to high. Do 2 more tablespoons of olive oil. Grab our short ribs. We're going to brown each side of the short ribs, about 45 seconds to a minute per side. Hear that meat sizzling? We're going to want to prepare a dry red wine. I'm using a fabulous bottle out of Paso Robles tonight. Bodega de Edgar. This stuff is awesome. I will actually drink this one too. Here, once you got that meat nice and browned, add it to the crock pot. Okay, now we're going to deglaze the pan with a cup of our favorite red wine. Edgar, you've really outdone yourself with this one. Now, while we're deglazing, we want to scrape up all those meat bits in the pan so they become part of our sauce. We're also going to add 2.5 cups of beef broth. I'm going to add some beef broth to my wife later tonight. I really hate this can opener that she loves so much. If I'm being honest, this thing sucks. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We're going to bring this to a boil. I like to add some garlic salt, some fresh ground pepper. Let's get this up to a boil. All right, it's boiling. We're going to let this boil for about 2 minutes. Sponsored by Bodega de Edgar. Just kidding, but I would be. Edgar, throw me a couple bottles. Come on. I wish this meal was in 4D so you could smell how absolutely amazing this smells. Okay, that's been boiling for about 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and add it to the slow cooker. We're also going to add 2 sprigs of rosemary and 2 sprigs of thyme. We're going to cook that on high for 4 hours. And then we're going to clean up this kitchen because making a meal for your partner is definitely an aphrodisiac, but serving a meal and having the kitchen clean is a real panty dropper. And I'm trying to drop some panties tonight. Or maybe leave them on, pull them to the side. Either way, I'm getting in there. Wait, I totally forgot. We're also going to add some potatoes. These are just regular washed yellow potatoes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make braised short ribs in a slow cooker. We're all banging tonight. I feel like Oprah teaching you how to cook this dish. It's, you're getting laid tonight, and you're getting laid tonight, and you're getting laid tonight. Everybody's getting laid tonight. How is it?
Pretty good.
Are we going to do it later?
We already did.
And that wraps up another episode of Rockin' with Ricky. I kind of spoiled it because we did it before dinner, but like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week.